In a world where space and time are intertwined, one man dared to challenge the status quo. His name? Dayton Miller. His weapon of choice? A flute. But not just any flute. This instrument held the power to unleash the ether, a pervasive medium once thought to fill the universe. Miller, a physicist by trade, a musician at heart, discovered a harmonic resonance within the ether. He found that his flute, when played with precision, could manipulate this elusive medium. His melodies, a symphony of science, had the potential to shift the very fabric of reality. However, a sinister force lurked in the shadows. The Einsteinian demons. These creatures thrived in the distortion of space-time, causing chaos and disruption. The world needed a hero, and Miller was ready to answer the...
All right, we're live. Sorry if I sound like a robot, Toby. Hopefully it comes in.
Just now you sounded pretty dang smooth, so hopefully it will persist that way.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone, for being here for another Ether Cosmology Roundtable. Tonight, at the request of Alan and Ruhif, we had, or I believe Shane put this on the calendar for a discussion about emergency flights and emergency flight landings, particularly in relation to a flat versus globe model. And a lot of people will use this as an alleged proof of the globe, and some people will use this as an alleged proof of a flat Earth. And so we have our very own certified anti-flat earther here, Ruhif, to give an anti-flat Earth presentation, or I'm not sure exactly what his position is. We will have to see. But he's going to give a presentation, I believe, from the globe point of view here. And yeah, we will go from there. So without further ado, Ruhif, if you want to kick off your presentation, have right at it.
Thank you, Toby. Yeah, so you guys all know Banjo, Flat Earth Banjo, Brazil, Japan, USA. He put out a PDF. Well, first of all, he put out a couple of videos a few years ago claiming that the location of emergency landings between, origin and destination tells you that the planes are not really flying great circle routes. They're actually flying the straight line route between the two cities on the AE map. In general, in general, most of his arguments are complete rubbish, and the main reason that they're complete rubbish is that Banjo can't draw a great circle on a globe to save his life. So you'll often see in his book, have you got the book there, Shane? You want me to share the book? Hold on.
So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I get the book on my stream open and I can put it in the chat and stuff when we're talking about it, but I don't have any good way to concurrently display it to everyone in Discord, only to the stream. So
I've got it on the screen now. Okay. So this is chapter 2, so the second flight of his 16, and it's between Taipei and Los Angeles. And what Banjo does is just ask Google, how much does a flight between Taipei and Los Angeles cost? And it shows him this image, and this blue line, Banjo thinks is the Great Circle Route. It's not. That's not the Great Circle Route at all. The Great Circle Route for that flight. I'll give you the intro for this flight. So it's between Taipei and Los Angeles.
Yep. Can we back up a second and go over what is a great circle route, why we're using it, why it's being used, what it's being applied for?
Yep. Great circle route, just the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. And obviously planes want to minimize travel time, minimize fuel. So they fly the quickest and most efficient route that they can. The starting point for that route is simply just the Great Circle Route between the two cities. Obviously, they do need to take into account the winds, like the jet streams. They need to take into account things like restricted airspace, things like the North Atlantic tracks or the Pacific tracks. So the Great Circle Route is a starting point for the route that the plane should take on a globe.
Cool. And then a minor suggestion in the presentation, when going over the, what Banjo presented, obviously, try and talk about it like, I don't know, just he's not here to like defend himself or whatever. So it just when you're like, just tone it down just a tad, talk about it normally.
Okay.
Like it's educational,
Cool.
not just like what he did wrong.
Okay, cool. Should we start with chapter 2 or go to chapter 1? Because chapter 1's not actually an emergency landing.
No, chapter 2 is fine. Chapter 1's just preface stuff.
Okay. So chapter 2, Taipei to Los Angeles. A woman went into labor and gave birth about halfway through the flight, and they diverted to Anchorage, Alaska. Banjo says in the book that they should have gone to Hawaii, basically because of this. He thought that this was the Great Circle route, or the route the plane should take on a globe, which it's not. So you'll see if you do actually draw a Great Circle route between Taipei and Los Angeles, and then plot Anchorage and Honolulu, the Anchorage airport is far closer to the route than the Honolulu airport. So this is only 1,500 kilometers radius, and this one's almost 3,000 kilometers away. So yeah, the Anchorage was a perfectly acceptable diversion for that route. Chapter 2 done. Shall we go to chapter 1? Oh, sorry. Any questions from anyone watching as to whether they?
Yeah, let's try to do it this way. We'll do like each flight path in order. We had the flat map. We got the globe proper Great Circle route. So now that I'm looking at it, and you see that you plotted these nice circles, and on his version here, it just puts the line, I guess, way further south.
Yeah.
To make it look like it's closer to Honolulu, but that route, right? If you're on that plane on that red line and you have an emergency, are you going left or right? What do you guys think?
Left.
Are you able to do a side by side?
Side by side with what?
Banjo's depiction of the Great Circle route next to yours.
Sure. Yeah. Oops.
That might help.
You're gonna need Rohit to do some creative screen grabbing, dude. This is what I was messing with before, dude. Like maybe
work.
Yeah, maybe do like half screen and half screen, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so the mistake here was that the original line drawn wasn't for navigational purposes on the graticule, right? It was just an estimation on distance from Google Earth, which will give you the distance, but not
Google Maps.
Yeah, but not the route you would take. When
it's giving you a nice looking line, whereas if it was the actual route, it would go up through Japan, up around through or close to Alaska, and then down again, which would look a little funny on that globe. It just looks funny.
Yeah.
But there's a way. What you do? I can bring out Google Maps actually. Let me just maps. Google, and let's bring that over here. Oops. Bring it over here. If I go fly, whoops a daisy, that's no good. Fly Taipei to Los Angeles. All right, so if I do that. There you go. So that's what it does. But if you then go and measure distance, oops, and do that, that gives you a great circle on Google Maps.
Oh, so if you just like Google search this like anyone would do, it would give you the line that he compared, but that's not what the plane would do. And that's what happened to each one of these.
Yes. He's just not drawn the correct Great Circle route. So you can see that does go reasonably close to Alaska, and there's Anchorage. Yeah, so it's much closer to Anchorage than it is to Honolulu.
You know what, Ruhif? I must say I've actually done this flight. I've flown from LA to China. And when you're looking at the in-flight map, like for instance, in your headrest, it shows you where it's flying. It's been a while. It's been like 10 years since I made this flight, but I do not believe it looked like the red line in yours. The way I remembered it, it much closer hugged Alaska the whole flight up there. So do
Yeah.
you know if is the in-flight showing you the Great Circle route, or is it just giving me an approximation of where we're at?
The in-flight should show you the actual route. I think it was Toby said, don't bag out Banjo too much. But let's go down to, yeah, he talks about the headrest here, going from San Francisco to Tokyo. And this is probably the actual route that the plane took. And it doesn't go very close to Anchorage, right? The reason that is because this is the westbound flight rather than the eastbound flight, right? And there's generally a jet stream heading from west to east, and planes going from west to east will take advantage of that jet stream and head up towards Anchorage, while the planes heading west have to avoid it, so they tend to go a little bit further south. So yeah, like I don't want to call Banjo dishonest, but showing the westbound flight when he's talking about an eastbound flight was misleading, shall we say?
Do you have the time where they were in their total flight time when diversion was decided upon? As well, do you have the length of time from when they start the diversion to when they get to Anchorage?
No, this is one I couldn't find the actual route for. They say it was halfway, 6 hours in. There's a couple of articles on this particular flight which say it was a 19-hour flight. That's because it came originally from Indonesia, landed in Taipei. That was about 6 hours, and then from Taipei to LA is about 12 hours. So they call it a 19-hour flight, and some people go, oh, halfway is almost 10 hours, which is not correct. It was 6 hours in, halfway across here. So they probably diverted somewhere around here.
So the real question about proving this either way is how long were they still flying from the point of diversion to get to Anchorage? That should tell you a lot more about it.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't find the finding the historical flight path for these. There's a bit of guesswork involved. Yeah, I can go through that later, but I couldn't find this one. I can probably try again later, but I couldn't find it anyway.
Says flight took off from Taiwan 11:50 Wednesday Taipei time. Is this the one right scheduled? And then took a pit stop at 9:06 a.m. 3 hours 29 minutes ahead of schedule, and then scheduled arrive, which was 9 hours 16. So that's the travel time that he said specifically didn't make sense on a globe. Does he have any evidence for that, or what are we doing?
Yeah, needs more research on my end for that to be able to comment. Like I said, there's a little bit of guesswork involved in getting the actual flight data. I've got it for maybe half the flights, but not this one. I'll try it again later.
Dude, model builder would have been cool to have on this project, it seems. That dude has all the flight data. Yeah. He collected all the flight data and graphed it out.
Yeah.
Would have been nice. Do we have so now I'm like, do we have the actual flight path data? Because Levelist says he took the flight and it doesn't look like it looked like they plotted it much closer.
We can bring up flight radar and show you the last, however long you want.
I like that.
Yeah, flight radar, and it was China 6 or 8. China 8.
Yeah, I've flown from both San Francisco and from Los Angeles to Asia, various destinations in Asia.
Let's log in.
Nice. Are you like a Primo member?
Silver. There you go.
No, this is a while ago.
He says silver immediately. Like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm not that cool.
But why can't I go CIA previous flights? There we go. There we go. All right, so we can see Taipei to LA. Oops. It's one. So they do arc up towards the Aleutian Islands. And yeah, so that's the last couple of days. But then when we go and look at the return journey, so I'll do 2 more of these. You go CI7, I assume. Los Angeles to Taipei. That's not right, is it? Yeah. So when we look at the return leg, oh, that one went higher even.
Yeah, when you first turned this on, there was a bunch of yellow
There you
planes
go.
in the sky. You can see where the majority of them are flying right now.
Yeah. So this one from Los Angeles to Taipei, so heading west, tends to go a little bit lower usually to avoid the jet streams.
But the other ones don't. Do we have this actual flight, or do we not know?
No, I'll have to do some more work to try and find the actual diversion flight.
What was the year for all these flights? Is it all the
I think
same year?
we can try and do it now, but it's a pain in the ass. It'll take like 15 minutes.
I just mean, like, do we have, like, because this is an actual flight, right? He's not just saying any Taipei to whatever, yeah, because that would be integral.
Real,
to the
real,
joke.
real quick, just go back to the live, the flights that are live right now.
Yep. Oh yeah, so they're going higher.
Exactly.
Today's one of the days
Yeah,
they're
how
going
about
higher.
that?
Yeah.
So that's much closer to Anchorage, but
Yeah.
that doesn't help either argument, guys.
No, it'll just be the winds. Like we can look up the winds, and I guarantee you this will be avoiding this jet stream. Should we look at the winds?
It says 8 years ago.
Yeah, that makes it harder even. Yeah. If it's after September 2017, it makes it a bit easier.
On October 8th, 2015.
Yeah, that's hard. Where are we? Oh, wrong side. This side. Yeah, so it looks like the planes are going over here to avoid this jet stream.
No, that's a lot more north than what we're seeing the westbound flights doing. They're going right over that.
Hang on. Previous one.
Wait, see if you can get
Over
that
the
flight.
Aleutians.
You get the time and date now.
Oh, yeah, too. There you go. What are they doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
No idea. That's a bit silly. Let's have a look at yesterday.
How far back in time can you go?
On this site, a lot.
Flight radar 24.
Yeah, flight aware, you can go back. You can sneakily get data if you can guess the URL. That's why it's tricky.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So it's shifted down a little bit over the last day or so. Yeah, not much though. That's a bit odd.
You show me what is it? The airport. What's the
That
three
was a
letters?
long flight.
TR.
That was one of the longest flights they've had over the last couple of
TPE?
weeks.
Okay, TPE.
So they're definitely going into the wind, which is bizarre. 13. Anyway. Yeah, what do we do now? Next one?
Yeah, we'll call that one inconclusive. We'll go on
Yes.
to the next one.
Oh, well, no, conclusive in that the Great Circle route is closer to Anchorage than Honolulu, and more work to be done on whether we can get the actual data for that flight.
Yeah, the Great Circle route you plotted sure was closer with those nice circles, right?
Yes.
But the actually, he's like, yeah, exactly. But the actual flight we turned out in recent flights that take the same path seems to be more towards Anchorage. But
Yeah,
we
but
don't
why
know.
it went into the wind was a bit weird. Yeah, it did take longer, which you'd expect, but yeah, I don't know.
It is
Right, so this one, chapter 1 from Banjo's book, is talking about the Brazilian soccer team getting to Australia from Brazil. Banjo was in Sao Paulo, and he was waiting for the soccer team to fly to Rio, and then he expected the soccer team to fly from Rio over to Santiago and then to Australia. But apparently what happened is they flew from Rio up to Los Angeles and then presumably Los Angeles over to Sydney or somewhere. And, Banjo says, why didn't they fly Santiago? The reason I think they didn't fly to Santiago and then to Sydney is because Banjo has an image in his book of a 747-400, which is or would have been the longest range commercial airliner at the time. It has the range to go against the jet streams to get to Sydney from Santiago, but Varig, the airline at the time, only had 747-200s at that time. So they would not have had the range. I think it's about 1,000 nautical miles difference or something in range. So what I think is they flew to Los Angeles and then caught a 747-400 to get to Sydney, or went to Tokyo or whatever. The main point of this one is to show that for routes that do exist today, the flight time is far quicker going from Sao Paulo to Santiago to Sydney than it is going to the Northern Hemisphere. So from Sao Paulo to Los Angeles, it's about 11 and a half hours. LA to Sydney is about 14 and a half hours. So you get a total of about 26 hours. If you stay in the Southern Hemisphere, it's 4 hours from Sao Paulo to Santiago, and then 14 hours from Santiago to Sydney. So 18 hours. So it's 8 hours quicker to stay in the Southern Hemisphere, which I think is, destroying Banjo's claim. The end of chapter 1. Any comments?
I think people talk about this one a lot. I think I saw a GIF today where someone was demonstrating that because on his book, he does the globe from the back end tilted orthographically perpendicular, like away from you, and he does like a V of it shooting up to shooting down, and the GIF is like someone doing all the way up to go all the way down again, and they could have just went across.
Yes, that one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. This takes far longer. It takes 8 hours longer than just going across here, as you'd expect on a globe. Whereas on a flat Earth, going from Rio to Santiago all the way around into the wind, around the south, a big curve to Sydney, is obviously a further distance on the AE map, but somehow takes less time. Cool. Chapter 3, shall we? Unless anyone...
I got nothing for chapter 1. Anyway.
Chapter 3, this is actually honestly Banjo's best case flight. So it goes from Bogota, Colombia, up to Frankfurt, boom, in Germany. What I've plotted here, so the green line, take those flights off for now, 1 sec. All right, so the green line is the Great Circle route. The yellow line is the actual path of the plane on the day. So this is one of the ones that I could find. And then I've split it here into two. The white route is the planned flight route, which you can get from FlightAware. And then the yellow is the diversion up to Manchester. So yeah, it did travel significantly north of the Great Circle route, and then deviated further north to go to Manchester. But I grabbed the last 4 flights for this one, 4 actual flight routes. And what I found was the last 4, just deviate either side of the Great Circle route fairly consistently. One thing I want to point out is that anyone in the Azores belonging to Portugal can listen for these planes overhead to verify that they do go over the Azores and not follow the AE route. So you on the ground can verify planes going overhead. Like I've got an ADS-B receiver and antenna. Sometimes I'll sit up on a cliff face and listen to planes, and I can get signals from like 450 kilometers away, depending on how high I am. And 450 kilometers from any of these islands. Cool. Oops. So that's 450 Ks. You can verify that these planes are going overhead just by listening out for their ADS-B signals. So yeah, they are verifiably going this route rather than the AE route.
I thought you said this was Banjo's best case.
Oh, it's his best case in that it goes further north. It's a bit of an anomaly in that it goes further north than typically. So it does It does. Hold on, I'm going to bring up the chapter 2, chapter 3.
I mean, if his case is arguing flat Earth, the one that already deviates away from the course towards the planned emergency stop doesn't necessarily help the case.
Yeah, so that's his best case, right? It does the straight line on the AE map does go over Manchester, but the routes in reality actually go over the Azores, and that's verifiable if you want to buy someone a $50 piece of kit to listen for the planes.
Then you'd have to trust
Anybody?
Then you'd have to trust an Azorian.
True. Why would they lie, Alan? Why would they lie?
Is that what people from Azores are called?
I don't know.
Azorians.
If I was from there, that's what I wanted to be called.
Exactly. Yeah, so that is his best one. It did go further north. I unfortunately cannot get a hold of the historical North Atlantic tracks to see whether it was routed along the North Atlantic tracks. That would probably explain it better, I think. Yeah. So the North Atlantic tracks are just a bunch of eastward and westward tracks that they set up every day because it's a really heavy traffic area. They have this very orderly queue of planes flying along these 6-7 tracks, all about a degree or half a degree apart, and it's pretty much all traffic that heads across the North Atlantic has to stick on these tracks just to keep everyone safe. Yeah, so they may have caught a track of that day when other days they may be just getting in from the south. So anyway, like I said, it's Banjo's best, and it's still a wash, basically. All right, chapter 4, Cathay Pacific.
Hong Kong to LA. Let's stop in
Yes.
Alaska.
This one is hectic. There's a dude on YouTube who actually didn't live stream it, but he made videos and put them on YouTube of the emergency in real time. So it goes from Hong Kong over to Los Angeles. They had smoke in the cockpit, I think, and they diverted to Shemia Island, which was an old, unused military airport, because it's basically a situation of we need to get the plane on the ground immediately, as opposed to someone's given birth, we need to find a place with a hospital kind of thing, right? So this is what is the nearest airport that can handle the plane. So as you can see, landing in Shemia Island is an obvious choice if the plane is flying somewhere along the Great Circle route, very, very close. But I've also plotted the AE route. So this purple line is the AE route, but mapped onto the globe. And if you were truly flying the AE route in reality instead of the globe route, then there are other airports that would be a better emergency landing spot, like Anadir, and there's a couple of others around as well. But yeah, this one makes more sense on a globe than it does on a flat Earth, because Shemia is very, very close to the AE route. Yeah, so you can see that they diverted here.
So you plotted an AE map onto the globe, an AE route
Yes.
onto the globe.
Yes.
Cute.
Yeah, so if I drew that purple line, that would be a straight line on the AE map. Yes.
Yes, that's valid. That's what everyone knows.
Cool.
You can do
That's
that.
the actual route.
Right. I mean, you should have done that for all of them, but okay.
I can.
I mean,
it takes a couple of minutes.
On Banjo's thing though, this is what chapter 5. His Great Circle route is like all the way through the North Pacific Ocean, way through like just if what you plotted is way different than what he plotted again, right? Yeah, that.
Yeah. So that's the pretty one looking on Google Maps. This one is apparently a cruise. I don't know why you put a cruise line thing in. Bizarre.
I don't know about that one. Oh wait, there's another thing. The last one. Crap.
Yeah.
What was I looking at? Oh yeah.
Okay, so here again. Oops.
Right, yeah, exactly what I was going to bring up. That thing, that flight tracking image. What the hell is that? That's not what you showed either.
Right, that looks like another westward flight. rather than so the eastbound ones from Hong Kong to LAX tend to go a bit higher, catch jet streams, and the westbound ones tend to go a little bit further south. So again, he's trying to give you the idea that these go this route both ways, and it's just not. It's not true. They do go pretty high.
It's weird that it's the other way. That's why it looks so weird to me.
Yeah,
He's using
and
that.
it's on an indicator.
Yeah. Well, he's got the AE straight line plotted, and then he's got this globe linear thing between Hong Kong and LA that's all the way through the ocean. Like,
Yeah.
do planes fly that? Do they fly through open ocean like that typically? First of all,
Yeah. Yeah.
they do.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Can
not
we-
true that you need to be close to land for commercial airlines.
Can we get a flight aware snapshot real quick of that area, if you'd be so kind?
One sec. Flight radar.
Right. Yeah, right there. That's it. Right. That's not the spot.
Yeah, so they do fly a long way from land. So there's the thing called ETOPS, so extended twin engine operating. Yeah, whatever. The hourly range limit for a plane with two engines, and it tells you, say the 777, I think, has an ETOPS of about 5 hours. All right, so it's allowed to be 5 hours from a suitable airport at all times if one engine dies. All right, so that determines how far out to sea you can get, and it's it basically covers the entire Earth, so it's fine. Yeah, that planes no longer hug the coastline. That's old school.
But a lot of them do, though. Looking at that, right? Like what I'm looking at is a lot of the majority of them take that hugging the shoreline route, and then some of them cut right across. Like,
Yeah,
true.
That one there, Los Angeles, Tokyo. Yeah, so I don't know why most of them are going this way.
Yeah.
That's
Real
bizarre.
quick, just because you would have redundant engines like that, I don't see why that would make you want to risk like double engine failure, right?
If you got double engine failure, you're landing in the ocean. That's what's going to happen.
Wait, what? Landing in the ocean?
Yeah, if both your engines fail, you are fucked,
yeah.
and you are landing in the ocean. Yes, you only have a couple hundred, probably, if that. Yeah, probably 100, 150 kilometer radius. Cool.
Yeah, I'm good with this one. Unless you guys have any questions.
Qatar Airways 725.
Well, even if you land in the ocean, you're only about an hour from rescue with how populated it is with Coast Guard and American Navy.
Well,
If you're in the middle of the ocean, you're fucked. You are well fucked.
Yeah, that's not particularly uplifting to me, Eli.
All right, so Qatar 725 goes from Doha to Chicago. It landed in Moscow, and obviously Banjo's claim is that it should have landed in Ukraine. But I think this was a 2016 flight. So it was only two years after the MH17 Malaysian Airlines was shot down in Ukraine, and several years after that, Ukraine airspace was avoided by pretty much all commercial airliners. So this is also Iraq. Iraq tends to get avoided as well. So it kind of makes sense that to avoid Iraq and Ukraine, and Syria as well, you would probably go north of Ukraine, and that makes Moscow a pretty sensible emergency landing location. Any questions on that one?
So yeah, man, again, his map plot is straight. Like he puts that again, the globe is orthographic, it's facing Africa, like so it's orientated with Africa looking up down, and it's got a line through right at the top of Egypt, essentially. Yeah, that.
Through Portugal, yeah. Which is nowhere near the Great Circle Route. Like I said at the start, his main issue is not being able to draw an actual Great Circle Route. You can either do the measure distance tool on Google Maps, or in Google Earth, or there's like greatcirclemappers.com. But yeah, this is not the route that the plane takes. It's just making it look nice on a north-south oriented globe. That's it. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
North-south oriented. Pretty.
Yeah, because it would look weird, right? If it was this big arching thing, towards the top of the globe, that'd look a bit weird. Correct, but weird. Anyway, so that's that explanation. It would have, the shortest route to avoid restricted airspace would be not far from Moscow. Too easy.
Well, the AE route that he plotted is like almost directly over it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if they deviated to the north around either of those, they would be right over Moscow too?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Moscow makes sense on either flat Earth or a globe. All right. Chapter 6, Air France 116. The one about this one, Paris to Shanghai. I think someone die in this one. Or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so this is the actual track of the plane. You can see that for the vast majority of the flight, it is almost exactly on the Great Circle route until it diverts to Irkutsk. Yeah, like it's just following the Great Circle route. I don't understand the opposition to this one. I mean, it was a medical, right? And hang on, was it? Let me check. Irkutsk.
Oh, is it a takeover? What is this? Terrorist? Hold on.
Hang on.
No.
I'm gonna read the why?
What?
Did it say why it diverted?
He's telling the history.
Yeah,
Like what
he
happened?
rambles on quite a lot.
Why did it stop?
Plane malfunction. Yeah, so it was a mechanical failure. So go to a big semi-westernized population center with a big airport. Don't go to freaking Mongolia. And they probably could have landed in Ulaanbaatar, but yeah, or Krasnoyarsk if it had happened earlier.
Can you zoom out on your plot of the route there so I can, right there. So where does he have it? He has it through China. What is that? Kazakhstan? Is that?
Kyrgyzstan, Ukraine again.
Yep, through Ukraine is where you have it. So that's different.
Yeah, so again, he just does not draw the correct Great Circle route on a globe. He just uses Google Maps, who's trying to show you a pretty route on an oriented globe. Yeah, so there we go.
Anybody else?
Anybody?
I kind of got some stuff in it. So this Google Earth Pro, I guess maybe I never realized that the Pacific Ocean was 12,000 miles around. Is it whenever I'm sorry, I was arguing with my wife for about 30 minutes there, so I missed after chapter 2.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll have to go back and look at it on YouTube, but it looked like the Pacific was such a long route that maybe that Google Earth Pro had I think there's distortions to the globe model, first of all, obviously. And then so we're saying that this is the most accurate model of the globe that everybody is going to depend and rely on.
Yes, I would say there are no distortions, or no significant distortions. It gives you accurate distances and flight times.
And so as I was looking at that, I was noticing, and so I noticed the other chapters of the other flights you were showing weren't necessarily up across the North Pole, but that specific flight from Tahiti or whatever over to LA,
Taipei.
it goes up by the North Pole, kind of like the AE map would suggest, and like the globe Earth map would suggest, like as far as the circle route. That I
Yeah,
do
we'll
agree
get
that
to this
makes
one.
sense on both.
So chapter 7 is one where it goes basically straight over the North Pole, right? So it's from Dubai, to San Francisco, and because they are longitudinally opposed by 180 degrees, then it's both the AE route and the globe route are going to go straight over the North Pole.
Right.
They're going to be the
So
same
that one's
route.
pretty similar to the second
Yeah.
one.
So it's
And
nothing.
like I said, I missed some of the other flights, so I'll go back and check them out. But I wanted to comment on the to me, I just never realized, being indoctrinated with the globe model, that the Pacific was actually damn near half of the Earth. And as you were showing that other flight, and you were showing it more from the top, like more from the North Pole perspective, you could see all the land masses on one side and the Pacific Ocean basically filling the other side. And
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever seen a sphere that looked like that, or a globe in anywhere that ever just had half of the Earth as water. And
Yeah.
so to me, like,
That,
that kind of seems like a distortion, but maybe that's how it is. Fuck, I don't know.
yeah. I think
That's
that's how it is. Yeah.
that's a really good
there you
point. They
go,
never
conspiracy.
show it that way, right?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like that on any of the globes I've ever seen.
Right?
It does, but you can see Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Australia, US, and Alaska. It's just
What?
And it certainly adds more credit to the June 8th, observation, or June whatever observation, where there's so much light over so much
yeah,
of the population.
Yeah, it's July.
99% or something.
And maybe July, maybe the globe models, or whatever the little globes I've been spinning around as a kid, they were the distorted ones. I'll mute back up and keep watching. I just
You know what?
kind of wanted to throw that in
No,
there.
you're good, bro.
There's probably no satellites right over there, right? Because there's no land, so
Yeah,
they don't have any pictures of anything. You know.
There will be satellites over there. Satellites are in an orbit.
Hey, bro. So I went to Colorado last week, and we went and camped in the Rio Grande, and we went and camped at the Grand Canyon. No satellites, man.
Really?
Or I guess maybe the satellites weren't sending to the towers, or I don't know. It just seems like we do have satellite navigation on our car. Maybe it uses cell service, so maybe that's not a good argument. Anyways, I'll mute back up and let you continue with your presentation, Rohit.
Yeah. So Chapter 7, Emirates 225, Dubai to San Francisco. The globe route and the AE route are identical, so you can't make any argument either way. I am surprised that it did deviate so much east and then took an abrupt turn west. That's the actual flight of the diversion. So yeah, that's just weird. I don't know.
What's the green and red? Is one the AE map?
Red is globe and green is AE map.
Really? So on his, let me see. I'm looking at the right one. Is it Chapter 7, right?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
For these diversions, you'd also have to pull up a weather map of the time to start figuring out why they're diverting, major weather events and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's what Banjo thinks the globe route is like. Dubai to San Francisco, going through the North Atlantic somewhere. That's through Spain.
So you said they would blow through the North Pole, right? And I'm looking at the book, like that's not what he drew at all.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's the same because they're on opposite longitudes. Then they're both going to go through the North Pole. Cool.
What? So if you draw like a Google Earth route to San Francisco to Dubai, and then you right click get distance, it will draw a great circle through the North Pole.
Yeah. On the red one. Yeah. Dubai to San Francisco. Oh, globe. Measurements 8,103 miles through the globe, through the North Pole. Yeah, so Dubai is about 55 east, which makes this about 125, 122 west. So they're almost exactly opposite in longitude.
Okay.
But they'll both go through the North Pole.
God damn, Banjo.
Yeah, so you can't make any argument at all for that one. Chapter 8, Pakistan International. From Islamabad to London, landed in Moscow again. Again, I think this one was 2015, I think. Something like a year after MH17. So, of course, they're going to avoid Ukrainian airspace. And that makes Moscow a pretty decent emergency landing place. Simple. Any issues with that one? You have the PDF.
My issue every time is his route. I'm looking at it again because it's vastly different. The way that it's brought up in here contextually, you're like, wow, this is retarded. This one makes tons of sense. And then the way it actually looks on Google Earth is like, either way, is that closer? I don't know. Let me measure it.
Yeah. So this one, I think that looks like a close. Oh, it's not far off a Great Circle route, but I don't think it is one. But again, it goes through Ukraine, so yeah, they're going to avoid Ukraine. So here's the actual route that it took. I couldn't find the flight data for it, but yeah, it went north of Ukraine. The end, as it should.
Yay.
Oh, excuse me. Chapter 9. Lufthansa LH727 from Shanghai to Munich. I could only find, I found the actual flight data for it, but the flight data stopped here. I don't know why. I think Flight Radar 24 has better data for this one, but I can't get it. Landed in Krasnoyarsk. Is this the one where some kid died, I think? Some 9-year-old kid died.
Hey, Ruhif, just real quick. So the previous flight, like you said it should go over Ukraine, and that would be around the same timeline. I missed the date or whatever. Like that, you were saying that
2015, I think.
people.
Yep.
Okay, so they were avoiding Ukraine at that time as well.
Yeah. They. I think some airlines still avoid Ukraine.
Sure.
Even
Yeah.
more now.
Yeah, more now, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So once again, Banjo's got the wrong Great Circle route. He's just taken it off Google Maps. So it goes a little bit north of Kyrgyzstan, according to him. Kyrgyzstan, which one's that one? Is that Kyrgyzstan? Yeah. So his route goes a little bit north of Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan? Yeah, Kyrgyzstan. So he's got the Great Circle route off by 1,000 kilometers, 1,200 kilometers.
Yeah, that makes a difference comparatively.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. So they landed in Krasnoyarsk. I think this was the medical emergency for the 9-year-old kid. So again, medical facilities are important, rather than just finding some random airport to land at because the plane's going to break up. I think Krasnoyarsk got a population of like 1 million or something like that. So yeah, any of these, Irkutsk, Krasnoyarsk, Omsk is somewhere here. Any of those three will be fine. Yeah, cool. It all makes sense when you get the Great Circle route correct. Chapter 10, American Airlines 263 from Dallas to Beijing. Let's see what Banjo did for Dallas to Beijing. There we go. Flying straight across the Pacific. A little bit a little bit south of that line. So let's turn on the grid. Can I get the time grid? No, I can't. Bugger. Yeah. How do you get the international date line? I don't know. Somewhere. Yeah, he had it going across somewhere across here. The actual Great Circle route goes that way. Funnily enough, they did take a really wide eastern path for some reason, and then took a big left-hand turn to get back to Edmonton. They couldn't land at Edmonton, so they went to Calgary. Yeah, again, just Banjo not being able to draw a Great Circle route to save his life.
Well, the AE map does have the going right through the center of the US. Right,
Yeah.
that's the route that he drew right through like Dallas, from right through the center like it is, and then all the way up, continuing through.
Yeah.
Well, that one,
yeah,
you like I don't know why you wouldn't. It's like, well, if the Earth was flat, dude, that's why that's how you would start out. And if that's the Great Circle route, they specifically did not take that one here.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of the recent ones. Hang on, we're doing 263. What? Jacksonville, Miami. What's a Dallas to Beijing? To Beijing. Flight. Oh, no non-stop. That sucks.
That one's a win for Flat Earth, bud. Hate to tell
I'll
you.
give you that one. I'll give you that one. If I can go back and find,
It's like they started on a totally irresponsible path. Nobody knows, and then it's like, oh, unless the Earth was flat, and then it would be exactly that.
All right, so I've got the tracking data for that flight, which means I can get the flight data for a week either side, and we'll see what like the average route is, and see whether this one is like an anomaly or whether it usually goes that sort of detour.
That's fair.
Cool beans. In the interim, Shane, I'll give you this one as a better fluffies.
That is fair.
Cool. All right, chapter 10, chapter 11, Korean Air.
Hold on 1 second. Let me adjust the scoreboard. So we got 1.
we won it, dude.
And then you have all the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a 2 or 3 washes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'll come back with better data and I'll win that one anyway.
If I have to start measuring with pixels, I'm already disinterested. Right? If it's close enough where I have to measure pixels, I'm like,
it's just going to show that the typical route will be closer to the Great Circle, and that one was a bit of an anomaly, bit of a detour. But yeah, to be confirmed. All right, Chicago to Seoul. According to the NTSB, the emergency was declared 300 nautical miles south of Anadyr, and it landed at Anadyr. If you were flying the A route, which is the green route, I'm sure there would be another airport up here that would be a better option. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, the route that it took from Chicago to Seoul was here, which was clearly closer to the Globe route than it was to the AE route. So that's a win for the Globe. Cool.
I think y'all mislabeled this space.
Huh?
How's that, Meow?
It's called 16 emergency landings that prove flat Earth. Or do they?
Or do they?
Yeah, that just another thing is it's not necessarily disproving the flat Earth. It's just showing that it works on a globe as well.
Oh, 100%. We're all coordinate systems. We're all coordinate system friendly here.
Should we do a second stream on Southern flights?
But he certainly, at least the first one I seen was like, nah, I think he's got it. And then certainly, do you happen to have any Southern to Southern flights? Or maybe they weren't in the book. I don't know. I never actually read the book.
They're not in the book.
Are there? Yeah, my question would be, are there any Great Circle routes that aren't towards the supposed South Pole that are verifiable by plane routes?
Yes, there are. We'll get to those after this, yeah.
But I did ask Ruhif to do the impossible flights as well. I think he did that. So we can probably do another stream for like Southern flights and the impossible flights that you guys say.
You gotta get in before Jaren though. Jaren is gonna have me on Southern flights.
Ooh, I mean, we can wait till after that then. How long? I mean, like when's that gone?
Oh, I don't know. Soon, hopefully. Chapter 11, that was that one. And chapter 12, Swiss International LX40 from Zurich to Los Angeles, and had an emergency landing in Iqaluit or Iqaluit, whatever that is. As you can see, it is right on the Great Circle route. So,
man, his route is so far south of that. It swings completely the other way, and it's not a line this time. It's an actual. It looks like it could have been a Great Circle, but at least it's arced. I don't know.
Where are we? Zurich to LA. Yes, that's his route. And Iqaluit's up here somewhere.
Yeah.
Iqaluit.
Show
So
it
that's
side by side real quick.
Yep. That's the Makeda.
That's like north of Maine. Yeah.
Yeah, so that island there. And his quote unquote globe route. Oh, he's got it covered up with is it? It's up here. That's okay, right there. So yeah, his like for most of these things, his problem is that the globe route just isn't the
So it's
right
just the
right
great
circle.
circle. Your steel man is basically what he fucked up.
Yeah, 100% is our whole contention with this in the first place. That's why we're letting Ruhiv Steelman it correctly and see if we can't argue it. And when it's like you can't mess up a great circle route, and when you show me a great circle route with flight data that mostly they go that flight, I'm like, oof, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, this is the main problem that Banjo has is just getting the globe circle, great circle route wrong. All right, chapter 12. Chapter 13, China Airlines, Cal 06. This one from Taipei, from Taipei to Los Angeles. And let's bring up Taipei. All right, so that's his route. So his route goes nowhere near the Aleutian Islands, but the Globe Great Circle route does. Not too far away. Cool. Side by side. There we go.
You scroll down a bit on the left.
Cool. So his main issue with this one
Very similar.
is he thinks it was coming from the west rather than coming from the northwest. So he'll that one. Yeah, so he thinks it's coming from the west rather than the northwest. In the actual NTSB report, it tells you basically where it was. It says it was west of this waypoint somewhere here, and that waypoint is 300 nautical miles northwest of San Francisco. So it tells you where it was when the emergency happened. Obviously, San Francisco is the ideal emergency landing point rather than continuing to LA. Pretty simple. Cool. Well, there are links to the you guys can play along at home with the Google Earth KML file. Do you want me to stick it in the? Is anyone playing along at home? Maybe
yeah.
not.
You can post it. Someone might grab it later.
I definitely am, and
I know Shane will.
It's in the event description and in my link description, and we'll put it in there.
Shane plays with everything.
It's in the YouTube video description
It is
for
in
anyone
the
who
chat.
wants that.
It is in the chat. Oh, both the link to GitHub and the actual file. All right, you can click on little bits and pieces to get, like that's a link to the accident report, link to the waypoint data. All right, that's that one. Chapter 14, Qantas QF64. This is the only southern flight that Banjo put in his book. And all right, so from Johannesburg to Sydney, the emergency landing was in Perth. Banjo pretty much just talks about the jet streams in this chapter, about how he thinks the jet streams are 250 miles an hour, and therefore calculates what an expected flight time would be. The issue is that jet streams are rarely 250 miles per hour, and rarely in the direction that you need them to be to get that perfect tailwind. All right, so what I did was write some code that grabs the actual flight route from Flight Radar 24. It also grabs the weather data for that day from NOAA. What are they short for? Whatever they are, NOAA. And then for each sample on the route, it goes and grabs the weather at that point. So here, at this point here, the wind is 178.59 miles per hour, and it's heading in a direction of 101 degrees, which is almost exactly in line with the plane's flight. So you get almost all of that as a tailwind. So this part of the flight had 178 miles per hour tailwind, whereas you go back here, you only get a 60 mile an hour tailwind. Go down here, 60, 70, right? And what my software does is for every point calculates the ground speed by taking into account the wind direction and speed and the average cruising speed of the plane, and then sums up all those times taken to get an accurate prediction for how long the flight should take if we're on a globe and that weather is accurate. So that's what these things are. So QF64 on the 9th of July had an actual flight time, according to Flight Radar, of 10 hours 46. My prediction was 10 hours 48. It's usually less. The predicted time is usually less than the actual time because you obviously got to slow down to land. And you're not going 900 kilometers an hour when you take off. So for this one, 11th of July, actual flight time, 11 hours and 8 minutes. My predicted flight time, 10 hours 59. Right, so I'm getting fairly close to the actual flight time just by taking into account the wind data and the track of the plane. And I think that's pretty cool. Do you agree? Okay, that one's actually over. Clapping? Someone clapping?
Yes, you got 2 golf claps. Did you want a big clap? All right.
Yes, please.
I guess I'm just kind of curious, like, who is Banjo and why did he write such a crappy book?
He's one of the original Fluffs. He
Oof.
got
Ooh, the OGs.
not originals, yeah, but he got a lot of views on his flight route videos. Dave Weiss used to plug his book and plug the flight route argument. I think Whitsett and Jaren have convinced Dearth to remove Banjo's videos from his app. And recently Jaren's been pretty harsh with Banjo. So I think, yeah, he's copying it from all angles.
Well, why did he write it? Oh, for views? Is that the argument? Because he thought he got views, so he was like,
well,
I'm going to keep doing it.
I mean, to be fair, he probably just like Ruhiv was showing, he went to the Google thing and it showed him a line and he was like, well, this doesn't make sense. Right. But there's a little more to it.
I think and
the important part here is that all these flight routes are using the graticule, right? They're all adhering to the graticule. So when we get into geographic locations of where things are and where these routes would be and where it looks like on this map or that map, it doesn't really matter. It's all adhered to a specific coordinate system. Right. And it's,
especially
we'll get to that.
Yes.
Especially with the distances, it's only between longitude, latitude, grid line. That's what's determining it, not what the visual distance scale is on the AE map.
Yeah, I think that's that one. But yeah, we can analyze southern flights using my software. Any flights in the last 10 days, because that's the only data I have access to. All right,
you got to admit, that's a pretty significant departure from the Great Circle Line, those 2 flights.
Oh, 2 of them, yeah.
Okay, but you're only drawing 5. Right? I mean, if we started to look at the whole history of this, I wonder what percentage of the total flights we'd see going up north like these ones instead of south. Yeah. I mean,
why do you think it went north?
According to your model, it doesn't make any real geometric sense to go that far north, regardless of tailwind.
Also,
being
regardless of tailwind?
No, the point is the difference between 60 and 180 miles an hour tailwind, as opposed to the distance you're saving. Allegedly, by flying the Great Circle instead, that doesn't add up, Rube.
Are you watching the screen? .200 mile an hour tailwind. I think that's worth going out of the way a little bit. I mean, we can look up the winds on that day. What day? That's which route's that one? So that's on the 9th of July.
Dude, why do I have all of a sudden a really conspiratorial suspicion that when I click on Google Earth show distance, it just draws the linear AE distance as pretends that that's the Great Circle. It's like, oh, I know what you want. It's this route. We'll just call that the Great Circle.
Well, the other thing is like that Earth, it must be, they say it's pear-shaped or it's wider at the equator. That would lend more towards the Great Circle route, but then it's like, maybe you're just saying that.
I don't think that we should use words like equator because equator necessitates a sphere, like by definition.
See, the Great Circle route still has eastbound wind going on. It's not like they'd be going against it or anything to fly the actual route.
The Great Circle route goes way down here.
Wait,
Exactly, where the wind is still going east.
Not much. You'll be getting a crosswind here. Let's stick it into Google Earth. One sec.
Did you look at the airstreams for all the flights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stick that over here.
Oh yeah, because the airstream even for that Alaska one made no sense.
The one that went from east to west, yeah, I don't know why they went into the wind. That was bizarre.
I mean, I don't mean to change the subject. I'm sorry, but
That's definitely the exact subject, but okay.
Let's bring up something good.
subject or whatever.
Just give me a second, and I'll bring up the wind.
I couldn't have faked a better on point question if I tried, Travis. So I'm saying
4, 709. All right, give me a sec.
Yeah, because like Stone's saying, I mean, dude, that's a lot. That's a pretty large deviation.
Yeah, but look at the wind. Like they're going up there for 150, 200 mile an hour tailwind.
What's the distance to your little circle thing there?
This route, that is.
Well, you can add winds on Google Earth like that. All right, I didn't know you could do
Just
that.
overlaid an image, so it's 7,305 versus the Great Circle route 6,008. So they went an extra 450 miles.
Did you just wrap a Mercator projection onto Google Earth?
Equi-rectangular, yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Which is the cylindrical versus that.
Yeah, so they went north to take advantage of massive winds. 196.
All right, that's fair.
Cool.
Yeah, no argument there.
Boom. Chapter 15, Hawaiian Airlines HA50. All right, this is actually quite funny because Banjo said that it should have landed in Los Angeles or San Diego, but landed in San Francisco. The funny thing is, the route on that day was headed towards San Diego and Los Angeles. So the red line is the Great Circle route, which does go very close to San Francisco. But the diversion, because one of the flight attendants died, went to San Francisco rather than LA or San Diego. Unsure why this route was the planned route, why they would go so far south of New York and then take a massive left turn. Don't know.
Pull up the winds.
Weird. Oh, we can check the winds on that day. Yeah, when was that? 2019 0125.
Before we move on to the new one, can we look at the other ones on bobwinds.com? Someone was asking in the chat.
Which one
of that area? The one that you overlaid over.
Yeah. So that
one. Yeah. Well, Bob Winds would be the A version, but it's the same wind data, guys, right?
Yes.
All the same data. It just makes more sense when displayed in the particular pattern of it, because all that we're looking at is the southern reaches, like that southern hemisphere. The way that's just all the outer edges to us, right? That's why it's intense like that.
Yeah, so that's the data for this route. Yeah, so they went north to take advantage of that. Whereas if they went the Great Circle route, they'd be just hitting crosswinds and rubbish.
Rubbish.
Get a little boost. Rubbish, governor.
Put that flight you just mentioned. Could you do that?
Which one?
Overlay it with the winds.
The Hawaiian Airlines.
Yeah.
This one. All right.
The one to New York, whatever. That one. Yeah, that one.
All right. 2019 0125. All right. Hold on. 2019.
Maybe they are catching that. I mean, it kind of does look like it's going around that. That's why that flight's like that.
Dude, the wind pattern looks ridiculous. It's like
North America.
Wind only exists where humans are.
What's the difference?
Like,
I'm just reminding.
Why would that be?
I know, yeah. In the north, it's so squirrely. It's really weird.
It's so weird. Anyway, it's like
So-
all that
that's
ocean.
not all. That's not altogether true there, Shane. The North American jet stream, as you see it like that, is only like that half the time. Sometimes it sweeps straight across.
Right.
It's cyclic.
Right. Just this one data set looks weird. Weird to me looking at it like.
Just like we were just looking at for North Africa there. Just like that. Sometimes it looks, you can turn a fair bit like that.
And also, it looks goofy on the globe. Gotta say, look at that. Just scrolling around everywhere.
In Model Builder talked a lot about the jet streams. I don't know. It was a big point of his little presentation too.
Yeah. So maybe they went a little bit south here to catch this, maybe. And then catch this.
And to avoid all the cold shit that coming from the north. You know, that's going to bring a lot of cloud with it and shitty condition.
Yeah. Anyway, unsure about that one. But it's kind of funny that the route that they actually plotted or they planned was going to go to where Banjo says they should be going.
Yo, what the hell is on the side of Oregon? Look at that. It looks like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Like an eye of a storm. What's right there?
Yeah, so you'll see the eddy current. You'll see the tracks as well. The Pacific tracks will cater for that as well.
There's another one top left.
I think that low would probably be headed for Vancouver. Actually, it's typical right up the corridor there.
That's all the right wind speed data, but it looks so goofy on a globe because
That's so weird.
It's so weird to us.
Totally.
Yeah. Can I see it on something less visually repulsive?
Gives me a strong gag reflex. I don't know if that's normal.
Yeah. Anyway, so maybe they went a bit south to catch that for a bit. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Cool. 2016 Hawaiian Airlines HA37. Oh, this is a silly one from Banjo. I don't know why I put it in there. So San Diego to Kahului and took off from San Diego. This is the actual flight of the track of the plane. They got to here, determined that some mechanical thing that they need to cross the ocean wasn't working properly. So they took it to Oakland to be repaired. Banjo thinks they were already flying northwest, and therefore that was the closest emergency landing. Just incorrect. This is where they repaired the plane.
Yuck. Next.
Yeah, pretty shit, that one. Chapter 17, HAL 51. This one, so New York to Honolulu, right? The the AE route does go through Seattle, where they did divert to, and the Great Circle route goes this way. They were tracking along the Great Circle route for most of the flight, and then took a massive right-hand turn to divert to Seattle. The issue with this one is, like I said, you can buy the equipment to track these planes yourself. There's no reason to doubt these tracks across land because people listen for this data just for shits and giggles. You can verify these things. Yeah. And if you're on the plane, you're going to notice a massive right-hand turn, right? And then travel for another hour and a bit.
So you track plane paths?
I do. I've got. I'll show you my little.
So you're on a watch list.
Oh, hang on. Where's my camera? One sec. Go.
Eli, you never been plane watching or plane listening rather?
What do you
never just took your family to get a picnic and just lay down on the grass and just looked at planes all day from across the.
What is that?
No, I'm already on enough watch list.
That's the ADSB receiver, and that's the antenna. Boom.
What the hell? Why?
It's fun. Why not?
Oh, can you show that again, Ruhif? I had you on the small screen. I wanted to see the equipment.
Sorry.
My bad.
That's the antenna. It's about 30 centimeters long or so.
Nice.
Sorry, just stay there, Chuck. Stay there, Chuck. And
so you just put that bad boy on your head and then you plug it in?
Nice.
Plug it in your computer.
Just kidding.
SDR software and listen for planes. Like I said, I'll take it if I go pick up my boy near the near where I go to watch boats.
You listen, like, what do you catch? Just like, this is Roger, Niner, Niner, blah, blah, blah. Is that what you're catching?
I don't know.
Like, what do
They
you...
send out their
Don't call me
send out
Shirley.
signals.
Shirley.
They send out signals. Like I caught the Sydney to Fiji one. I think it was 440 k's away.
Yeah, but what are you
440.
catching? Are you catching like conversations? Like what?
No. The signal from the plane. The ADS
Transponder.
Yeah.
Oh, so you hear like
Beep,
Or
I got
what-
another
what-
radio wave.
Nice, dude. Cool.
Just radio waves from the plane. Tells you their location, speed, airspeed, ground speed, whatever. Yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
Chapter 17.
Next one.
Chapter 18. I really don't know what Banjo's point was with this one. Chapter 18. I don't know what his point was. Does anyone want to make his point for him? All I'll say is the actual track of the plane was pretty close to the Great Circle route and nowhere near the AE route, just the green one.
Well, I mean, to be fair, could you at least show what it shows in this book?
Sure.
So we can...
It's chapter 18. I'm sorry.
18.
Chapter 18.
I mean, you can call that the Great Circle Route and all, but we all know that when it comes down to the commercial airline, they're flying the route that is over the state of Hawaii for safety's sake, and the insurance companies are requiring them to do so.
There are ETOPS requirements for twin engine planes. Yeah, but they divert from Hawaii. They just fly the most efficient route while keeping everyone safe.
No, that's not actually true. I got a pilot who trains other pilots in the Far East, and no, that's not true.
I've got a pilot too, so it is true.
Well, my dad's a better pilot than your dad.
Yeah, my dad could beat up your dad.
Yeah, my pilot could beat up your pilot.
My dad could kiss your dad.
Whoa, that doesn't
Oh,
fly
yeah.
around
Only
here,
one way to
guys.
settle this, boys. Pilot dogfight. Right? Top Gun style?
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that would be the
Alright.
best way. Yeah.
Where's Banjo's flight path?
So
Where's the best?
He doesn't really make a cogent point in this one.
it makes absolutely
there,
no
right
sense
there.
at all on the
Right there, right
globe
there.
why
Wait, go back down.
says why it
Down?
flew 700 miles south of Utah to make
There
an
it is.
emergency landing
Alright.
in Seattle.
Now, does that look different from?
From the Great Circle route?
Yeah.
Not much, no. Pretty similar. Oops. Pretty
Yeah,
similar.
it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I know.
And the AE is the green. So how are you
Yes,
making
it's
these
way off.
green AEs?
I plot them in, like
Are
I
you
have
using
software
Gleason?
that, yeah, on the Gleason map, yeah.
Okay.
And then just, use those coordinates and plot them on the globe.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
it's all the same coordinate
Right.
system, right? As we keep saying. So like you could definitely have a straight line connecting it on an AE map that you draw and then convert and project that into a globe and see the result of the curve, right?
I can show you how to do it. It's not difficult. Where are we?
I like to
Oh,
use NASA's G projector and do it.
Vancouver to Sydney.
So you say he doesn't make a coherent point in this one?
I don't think so. So
How many of
Vancouver
these
to
have you guys
Sydney.
been through?
All of them.
We're
Oh,
at 18.
Is this level flight? Is this
You're
level
18.
flight?
How many
Bruhuf,
has
is it-
Ruhif
is it-
conceded on?
Is it level flight, Bruhuf?
Yes.
Yeah. So is level flight horizontal, Bruhuf?
You're gonna have to super chat Alan.
Notice how terrified he is to answer this question. I just wanted to pop in to destroy him on this. Is level flight horizontal, Ruhuf?
I don't see a super chat. It's got to be minimum $50
Is
US.
level flight horizontal, Ruhuf?
don't
Mike,
know. I
Mike,
can't
that's a
say that
little
word,
outside
Mikey.
the scope of the
I can't say.
presentation.
I can't say that word, Mikey. The
Okay,
H
we'll
word.
just let him beg the question. God bless.
Do we have any
The H
do
word.
we have any concessions on any of these that you've been through so far?
Yeah, number
Yeah,
10.
one.
There was one.
Which
What?
I'll come back with better data.
Do you say
Number
he
10?
gave?
Yeah, so
Do you say he
this
gave
is
us
my-
concessions, or we gave him concessions? What do you ask?
No,
He did one for
did
flat
he
Earth.
give concessions to you for which flight was it?
Yeah,
Number
we
10?
we got one.
Number
Yeah.
10, I think, yeah.
What was that one from where to where?
Hang on.
And
number
Pizzo's
10.
coming back with a recap.
He's like, wait, can I hit you on all the other 16 then? Hold on, I got you.
American Airlines 263 Dallas to Beijing. Yeah, went way east of what it should have done. I've got to get the FE route or the AE route.
No, it
and,
went directly on the AE route. And then Free's like, oh, for some weird extreme reason, it went off this offshoot and nobody knows why. And I was like, oh, that's exactly the AE route. And he's like, oh.
So I'll get more data on that one.
Dallas to
Um,
Beijing. What's it look like? How do you wait? How do you get that on the globe? How do you click it and it plots? That's a pretty cool program.
This thing? No, this thing saves. It saves the coordinates of that straight line, and then I just import those into Google Earth.
Okay.
Which is that green line. Yeah.
Yep.
What about the ball over there though? How do you get those lines on the ball?
Which one?
The green and red ones that you have right now.
Yeah. So the green one is
The other thing.
this line. Yeah. So this is the AE map. So I draw a straight line.
Route.
And then the red line is from the little list
The
of
Great
flights on the left.
Circle. No, the Great Circle route.
Red is the Great Circle route, and blue is the actual tracked
The
route
actual
of the
track
plane.
flight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Can you? Where's the blue one come from? Does it come from the little list on the left that you have on the sidebar?
Yep. Yeah.
He's got flight
The
data.
KMZ files in the chat like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to play along at home.
I'll have to look at the replay to see number 10.
Yep.
Ruth,
right.
can you get your pilot friend to explain how to establish non-horizontal level flight?
I can't say the H word, Mikey. I'm not allowed to say the H word.
I know we're all begging the question for you, Ruth. We're just letting you beg the question. So when you get your pilot friend to explain how to establish non-horizontal level flight, let us know.
We'll do, little buddy. We'll do.
Did we do 18 yet? No, this is
Chapter 18.
You all notice. You all notice, right?
Oh yeah,
Does everyone notice?
Yeah, but this isn't the purpose of the conversation, though. It's like you're kind of being disruptive right now.
I know. We're just letting him. We're just going to let him beg the question.
Yeah. $50 US super chat to Alan, and I'll answer your question.
You get unmuted as soon as you do that.
Yeah, chapter 18. Like I said, I don't really know what his point is. If someone wants to make his point, fine.
Did you just stop reading after chapter 16, Ruth? Be honest.
Oh, I've read it before, but it just.
He's like, I don't know what the point is. It wasn't coherent, or I didn't read it. One of those two things is true.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. It was rambling. So yeah. It was an emergency landing. It landed in Honolulu, very close to the Great Circle route. That's really all I care about. That is chapter 18 done. Hour and a half. Yeah. Do we want to keep going or stop?
Is that it? How many more are there?
That's it.
Oh no, right? It's 19? 19.
19. What's 19?
No, he just does flight.
Wasn't it 16 flight books? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but they're not in like specific chapters. So when we're doing chapters that aren't flight numbers, they got also. Yeah, I think we're done.
Right.
Cool. All right. Shall we Q&A for a little bit?
Did anyone want to congratulate Ruhif on his script again? He did a fantastic job getting data.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or anyone have any general questions?
No,
nice cordial presentation. Thank you, Ruha.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'll come back with number 10 data and smash.
I think we should do a Southern Flights one and then combine those Impossible Flights one with the KMZ file that you already did for. That would be sweet. So we can do we'll plot the ones that are impossible on a flat Earth, and then we'll talk all Southern flights, which I think.
Now, I do think
another day.
Yeah.
If someone has an original thought or an original point on this and you want to come bring it, something that you think we overlooked, you can reach out to me, Shane, or Alan. Maybe we can have another discussion about this. But I think overall it's pretty straightforward with a lot of these.
All right, we don't need to strawman the globe, guys. We have a very strong position. All things considered, we don't need arguments like this. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't like Jaron said. 10 of them are rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Probably already done this.
All of them except the one we potentially have. Very nice.
Oh, come back hard.
Have you took a Great Circle route and then imported it back to an AE map just to kind of see
Oh
that.
yeah, I can do
It
that
looks
as
like.
well. So
Yeah, that was dude, my immediate suspicious mind was like, are great circle routes just
Yeah.
AE lines that you call great circles when you plot out?
That's it. That's
So I
you know,
can.
when you brought it up, I was mulling it over, and yeah,
Me too, man.
let's do that.
So
Because
I'll
if
put
not, I
here
got nothing.
plot path on a sphere, but my rendering is on the A map, so globe false. But I'm plotting a sphere route.
Dude, that is cool.
Yeah, and that's what the route looks like. So from Santiago, way around here, I got to zoom. Yeah, got to rearrange where I'm looking at, but yeah, it can plot from wherever to wherever.
But so it's different. So like an actual flight path that is a great circle on a globe converted to the AE would not match the AE flight path
Yeah,
that
let's
Benjo
do
did?
that.
Yeah, way
Let's get
different.
a great circle route, and then can we do that real
Okay.
quick, Ruhif?
Oh, hang on. Target. Hang on.
You make
This
it look
is
so easy, man. They got to use you.
this is our best argument. So if it doesn't work, we're just gonna concede on the other 15.
Thank everybody. Like and subscribe. Yep.
Like honestly, if the globe route is closer, I'm just like pass. Like I don't care.
Tiago.
Equals. I was going to do a straight, straight linear interpolation between these two, which is not good, but still. Flight origin plus.
Captain Flight
Sorry,
Origin.
you
Whoops.
spelled origin wrong.
Hey, thanks. So this is just going to linearly interpolate the lat longs, which is, you know, pretty bad. Flight. Yeah, let's see if that works. Flight target and the cloud identifier.
Huh.
Santiago.
It's a funny bug notification sound.
Flight target. What's wrong with that?
I had him muted because he was watching astronaut porn or whatever earlier, and I couldn't stand it.
Oh, you didn't.
Dude, astronaut porn is the worst.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they're here.
Oh, you put
Sydney
a hyphen. Is it a hyphen instead of an equals, or am I tripping?
No, for equals. Flight target, Santiago Airport. That's in there. Where's locations? Santiago Airport.
You just freestyled the own variable name that he didn't know when he's calling his own function. Come on, man.
I'll just go Sydney Airport.
What are you, Walter? Ooh.
Is that a copyright comment I see under every line of code there?
Yeah.
Did you copyright every function specifically and individually? Did you comment out code to copyright each one of your variables? Sorry.
I don't know what it is. Flight target, Santiago.
There you
Santiago
go.
Airport. There we go. All right. Why am I looking there? Hang on. Let's put it over. Santiago to Sydney. We're just going to go target here.
Still hope, boys.
45, 138.
You can scoop them all back up right here with a Hail Mary.
Holy shit.
High risk, high reward, bro. Show me a great circle that equals AE. Fuck.
I like how Pizzo came in here and was like, which one do I need to go attack? All right, I'll see you guys later. Just dip.
We set all of them.
All right, so that is the Great Circle route from Santiago to
Oh.
Sydney, plotted on the A map.
That's retarded. That's even way more retarded.
Zoom
What?
out a bit.
I can, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's hard.
This is hacked up. Like it's not the cleanest. Oops, it's not the cleanest bit of software. There you go.
Oh.
That is retarded. That's the route that you say is better. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh,
That's the
that's
route it
not
actually
actually
plots.
a route that's on the flight book, though, right? That's just a route that we kind of know of, correct?
No, we asked him
This is
specifically.
the Great Circle route.
Yeah,
and it does fly that route. Yes.
Yeah,
Close to
yeah. But what I'm saying is, like the other one, due to wind and stuff, that Great Circle route would have likely deviated anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Wouldn't it have come back in way north of that location?
No. Let's draw the AE route as well.
Oh, wait. Can you go back to that?
Hang on
Oh,
a sec.
you already.
And also, I wanted to say, hey, Ruhif, dude, excellent job. Keeping the globe alive on this one. I've been watching you since before I even knew Alan and all these other guys over on Jaren's channel. And good job, man.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's Sydney Santiago on the A route.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't fly anywhere near that.
It
So
seems
that's the
there's
straight line, right? Okay.
like certain circumstances where it follows the direct path on the flat world, and then there's certain circumstances where it does not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let's look at that. So that's Santiago to Sydney, right? Okay. And you're basically following what? What is that?
So
What
doesn't that
latitude is
kind of
that?
kill? Doesn't that kind of kill the idea that the flat Earth distance would be 3 times the globe distance?
It's the same distance. No, it's the same distance. Don't listen to it. That's
No,
retarded.
if I calculated the distance of this on the A map, it'd be enormous.
No, it's the same distance. You know how would you calculate distance on the A map, bro?
I'd do it incrementally, but yeah, I'd work it out.
What would you use a visual distance scale and be a retarded? Come on, man! You compute
No,
distances
the distances are the same
between the grid lines. You'd use longitude and latitude compute distances.
The question I have is, why wouldn't that great circle just doesn't look right? Like, why wouldn't it be a smaller circle? I don't get it.
I can show it to you on the.
I'm just saying, like,
globe.
we'll just look at it real quick right there. Okay.
See, no, well, that's where the
look
winds would make
Sydney
sense.
is. Look where Sydney is. Oh, or it disappeared.
So that's the route. That's the route it takes. All right. So it goes south of New Zealand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Whereas Banjo's, well, the AE route goes, over continental US and then way around here. So this is the AE route mapped onto the globe.
So, okay, that one right there.
Oops,
okay.
yeah.
Now check it out right there. Or go back.
Go back to the render.
One. Yeah, the render. Yeah. Okay. So, do you see where the Great Circle route starts in Santiago?
Yep.
Okay. What latitude? It should why
35, something like that.
Okay. So why, I mean, it even looks like it's almost exactly opposite of each other. Just about.
Yeah, pretty close.
The latitudes are pretty close, right? So why wouldn't the Great Circle follow that same latitude?
Because that's not the shortest point, the shortest route between 2 points on a sphere. The shortest route goes way south.
Can you go back? Yeah.
Okay. It only
the globe, yeah, put the grid on.
It looks.
Yeah, it goes way south. Like 62 degrees south. That's the shortest path on a globe. It doesn't stay at the same latitude. That's not the shortest route.
No, nor do I think that it should.
Correct.
Wait. So you're telling me that you couldn't stay at the 45-degree latitude mark and go?
It'd be longer. Let's say
where's the end destination on the left? Right there.
Sydney. So let's go over here and we'll plot a path along this latitude line.
Yeah.
And see how long it is.
I want to see this shit.
Path.
I mean, can we pick a flight and then go look at the jet streams?
Yep.
I mean, we have that, don't we?
You can. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's plot this path.
I see you're doing your best. It's all right.
34. There you go.
It's pretty good.
So 12,761 kilometers. And this one, which one's that? That one. So 12,761 versus 11,363. So 1,400 kilometers.
Can we get that in miles for us English lads, American lads?
7,061 is the Great Circle. And this one, 7,929. So 900 something miles.
Mm.
Mhm.
Can't you just do a straight line? Like
Lining
why?
up. Damn.
What do you,
Why'd you have to like plot it so slowly with the one that you did along
He
the
did his
latitude?
He wanted to keep it
It's a
via the
straight.
latitude.
I wanted to
This is
see
a
it at
straight
the
line.
same latitude.
Yeah, that's why he had to draw the latitude line manually.
Yeah. This is a
How
straight
far is
line.
that distance, Ruhif?
Which one?
That
Yeah, but can't,
distance, the Great Circle route.
7,061 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 7,061.
Another one 7,000.
And the one that I can write some code to make it properly
it-
track latitude. But
What did it say, about 900 miles?
yeah, 900 miles further.
Son of a bitch.
So like 900 miles, like if you were to stay in the same latitude the whole time instead of going the Great Circle route on a sphere, it'd be 900 miles off. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
It's weird.
It's the geometry of a ball.
Well, it's the geometry of a graticule, that's for sure.
From their model.
Definitely a graticule.
Everyone just tell Rid of Graticule again. Just make him hurt. Gratitude.
You have my
G-word.
gratitude, Ruhif.
Gratitude,
For
Graticule.
reifying the graticule.
Yeah, so we can draw anything with this. I do need to fix it so that it's easier to just plot paths and have them show up nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nice, though. That's a neat little program. Oh, that's POV Ray. That's the one you sent me. Oh, you made many changes.
Oh, yeah. This is just a template that I can play with shit. Yeah.
I see. Everything is called POV Ray. I get it, Riff. Okay.
What distribution licensing did you use, Ruhif? Asking for a friend.
I don't know.
You know who didn't? You know who didn't bust my balls one time about that model? Not even one sentence.
Ruhif.
Ruhif. Not even a word.
I want to know why this isn't working though. Like, why doesn't that? Why can't I do that? Oh, so that one works.
That's because Ruip works with software and understands how
Exactly. It's exactly it.
Doing
It's
normal
exactly
stuff.
it. Yep.
That target equals.
Yeah.
I would go back to your airport list file and check for other typo.
Locations. Where's locations? There it is.
Ruhif realizes what other Globers say is retarded, but he won't let them know it's retarded. He'll just not say it. I mean, that's cool. You know, it is what it is.
Oops, another one.
Been there, brother.
Yeah, straight up copy
Right?
paste.
Santiago Airport.
Oh, I see what you're saying now, Shane.
What?
Horizon POV, radius,
What?
sun
Target.
reflection POV.
Why?
Well, he sent me a POV Ray thing for something else that wasn't a POV Ray, and I was questioning it. And now I saw that he just opens a file and changes like one thing to do whatever he's doing, and everything's called POV Ray.
What the hell?
Hey, you know
I
what?
guess.
The bug.
Since before you mess with that too much further, Ruhif, could we see? Because Riggs asked for it. Could we see the winds real quick? That overlay on that Santiago to Sydney flight, real quick. Just curious about that one.
All right, so let's go to flight.
You already have it
radar.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go and get we will go and get the latest QF27. That one. Is it 27? Which way is the?
I don't know. You should move
27?
your window over.
Sydney to
so I can see the
Santiago.
flights.
All right, so we'll download the KML, and then I've got to run my little script. This will take a couple of minutes, so talk amongst
No
yourselves.
worries.
Class, you may distract yourself and go to recess or whatever. Listen to this guy.
So have you guys heard that the different discrepancies where people think certain people in Flat Earth think that South America is not where it's supposed to be on the AE map? Michael Brenner has shared a map where he thinks it's been tweaked. And if memory serves me correctly, the guy that was the Southern Hemisphere yacht master that, he was exposing the
Magnetic deck guy. Yeah.
yeah, he also mentioned, he mentioned that he thinks like North America and South America is not on the AE map where it's supposed to be. It's actually shifted way farther towards Australia by, I don't know, 1,000 miles, something like that, or 500 miles, something like that. Would that, do you think that would make any kind of major changes, Ruhif, or no?
Hang on, I'm talk amongst
I-
yourselves.
No, yeah. Thank you for doing miles per hour for us Americans. I saw that.
Yeah.
True homie.
But no, yeah, Levelist. Yeah, I definitely think that there's
trying to
distortions on the
Yeah,
map.
I'm trying to find the Michael Brenner one right now. It was just hand drawn, like it
But
was on a piece of paper, and he drew it.
I mean, even
There you go.
in the mainstream like narrative, you'll hear about like people saying, "Oh my God, Africa is like so much bigger than what we think it is." You know, it's like huge. Like there's like tons of these, maps where it's like, "Wow, Canada's actually this big. You can fit this much amount of land in this place." Like, have you ever seen those kind of maps where you can like
Yeah.
puzzle
Yeah,
piece?
Anyway, I'm back. So this is the 16th of July, the latest QF27 Sydney to San Diego. The actual flight time, 11 hours 58. My software goes and grabs the wind for that day, works out what the tailwind is, if it has one. But here it's only about 40 miles an hour. But once you get over to here, that
This is the
is
actual flight
100
path,
miles an hour.
right?
Yes. So the KML file from Flight Radar.
Okay, perfect. Now let's overlay that bitch.
Oh, the actual wind patterns. Hold on. From the
Yeah.
16th.
Yeah, we're a sucker for those.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging it now.
We do like our wins.
We can try to get them when we can, right, boys?
Make them concentric circles, otherwise I won't appreciate them.
No, it's got to be equirectangular to overlay it.
Massive hobgoblin shit you got there. And then look how neat it. Look when it's in circle.
Ugh, rectangular. Ugh.
Save as 16th. All right, give a sec. 2407 16. Desktops.
Get a better wallpaper, please.
Here we go.
Orthographic overlay.
All right, so you can
All right,
see.
here we go.
Catching those
for you,
ones,
Riggs.
catching those bad boys.
Nice. Yeah. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Dave, you're late. We said plane like an hour and a half ago.
Dude.
Well, what is that altitude though? It changes quite a
Uh,
bit depending on which.
That's true.
It doesn't
Which one
change
you're
that
using.
much. The data that I use is 200 hectopascals, which is 39,000, and that's roughly what these flights fly at usually.
Yeah, that's fair.
data. The overlaid data from Earth winds is 250, which is about 34,000 feet. So it's not quite the same, but it's
So
very close.
Isn't there like a QFE limit, like 19,000 feet for going above New Zealand? Is that why it's all slow right there? That makes sense. Yeah.
No, this is the wind. That's the wind.
No,
You get
no.
a lot of data points.
No, that's the flight path going over New Zealand. You see how slow it's going right there?
Yeah.
Bet you it
Nothing to
dropped
do with any
lower in altitude because of the QFE law or whatever, the zones or whatever.
class D airspace or something. Class A.
Yeah.
Class D.
So it's slowed down right
it'll be-
there.
Yeah,
no,
but
the
they're
wind.
not
This is
flying
just the
over.
wind.
They're not flying over any significant population on that route. Dunedin and Queenstown are the places where people actually live. There's a lot of sheep in between.
And then you can just see like a dead hand spot where like there's no wind.
Yeah, that's just the wind though. This is nothing to do with any regulations or anything. It's purely the wind. They're getting a little bit less of a tailwind, like 20 something
Just
miles.
literally wind. Okay. I was just curious if that's why it was slowing down there because I heard about that. Yeah,
So
dude,
when they
it kind of following it pretty.
So you can see here it matches the purple fast wind, 100 miles an hour tailwind.
Yeah, but not to the right though.
No, it's running out here, 34, 27,
Super slow there.
38. And then it's got a big crosswind here. So you can see the wind is actually 80 miles per hour, but it's at a 30-degree angle.
Could you see where the wind's pointing? Yeah, yes. In the green. No, to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. See where it's pointing? 119 degrees.
Yeah. This data is different to the
So
overlay,
crosswind.
though, right?
Interesting.
So I've got the overlay is from 34,000 feet, and the data on screen is 39,000 feet.
Okay.
And may not be from the exact time either. So there'll be discrepancies here and there. Oops. Look at that one. Headwind.
And this is the great. Is this the Great Circle?
The Great Circle.
Or which one is this?
You can pull it up to.
Oh, okay.
That's the actual flight. Actually, no, that's just a flight that you just pulled, right?
Yeah, this is the most recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most
So
recent
this
one.
real flight with real weather
Yeah.
data.
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Santiago. All right. So that's. Oops.
Now you just made that great circle because it's just the shortest path, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what the
Yeah.
great.
So they deviated to take advantage of
to
about
take
100 mile.
the wind.
Yep.
Wah, wah.
Do you want to do QF28 on the way back and see what they did? QF28. QF 14th of July. That's a few days old though, so the wind isn't going to match. That's 14th of July. All right, give me a minute.
You can have a couple. We're not greedy.
Thanks, mate. QF28.
But yeah, levelist, to your point, since we got to fill the air. Yeah, I think there's definitely fishy shit going on with maps. Anyone
Did
else
you see-
Well,
collect
check
the
this out.
old world maps other than Shane?
Check this out, Levelist. If I
Yeah, I got a
overlaid,
few on my channel. You should check those out on Telegram.
Nice.
if I overlaid, well, it's not even position oriented. That's just
I
the
have a
other one.
couple Urbano Montes that are hideously large if you're into that kind of thing.
Found one of the most interesting maps that was from Peter Appian? I don't know, from 1495 to 1552. It's a really weird one.
You know that if we had anything that Shane didn't already have, he would have taken it, so it's in his collection.
Let's see if Shane had this one.
Yes.
This one's interesting. You do have this one?
Yeah. Shane has all maps. He stole them all. He's an equal opportunity
have this
stealer.
Yeah. Small circular world map. Let's see.
All
I don't know if you got this one. This is Graphicus Liber.
Oh, predicted 15
1924.
hours.
See it, Shane?
Yep.
See that like nice little Star of David right in the middle?
Yep. Yep. Is that because you put it there?
No.
Is this your map? Oh.
No. But it is one of the more interesting ones I found. It has like kind of like an astrolabe style.
Yeah, I like that stereographic sort of circular, and it only has like a half of the world. Right?
It's literally just on top.
All right, so here's Brenner's map overlaid with Gleason's. Like, I just lined up Australia based on Australia's position. That's where all the other ones would align. That's crazy different, isn't it?
What the hell did you align?
Yeah.
Brenner's map.
It looks a bit like that other one. Well, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, North and South America are way around. Pacific is much smaller.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, all the maps shown to me, it was South America was directly under North America, but it's not, doesn't show that way anymore.
I don't
This
even
is my
like that
worst
AE
prediction,
map
by the
they're
way.
using.
You lose.
Yeah, this is the worst prediction I've had. The predicted flight time 40 minutes off the actual flight time.
Wait, what?
So this is
where the data's from.
QF28 going back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the predicted flight time is about 10 minutes under the actual flight time. This is probably the worst I've seen in that it's way off. 40 minutes, 106 mile an hour headwind.
You didn't account for that?
Wow.
No, I did. This is the accounting for it.
Oh, it's red. I see. Oh, look, did you give it a color code gradient depending on how hard of a headwind? Did you put that in there? You did? All right, Riff. All right, hold on. One more applause, dude. Okay. That is cool.
Yeah.
So wait.
I get it.
Wow. Wait, I don't get that. Why is the headwind so crazy there?
Yeah. You're heading straight into the jet stream.
Isn't that a crosswind? I'm not sure of my aviation techniques, but isn't it
know,
crossing in
whatever it's
front of
called.
it? Isn't it headwind you're going into it?
Yeah, it's about 30 degrees crosswind. So it's heading 108 degrees that way, but the
So
plane's heading 321.
So they're always heading west, these streams, mostly?
Yeah, heading from west to east.
East.
Yeah, heading east. Yeah, so no wind here. 7 mile an hour crosswind.
Yes, somehow all of these winds are outrunning the spin of the Earth by hundreds of miles an hour.
Dude, if you say that one more time, Dave's going to come off mute and it's going to be over.
Speaking of that,
could we,
Dave,
we reach the outer ponderous.
Riggs is just tempting fate now. Just going to chant Beetlejuice a couple more times.
And as you can see, the Coriolis consistently affects how they turn. Yeah, not.
Hurricanes and tornadoes. Or hurricanes and cyclones, sorry.
Don't forget how toilet bowls prove the globe. Whatever.
I'm still tripping on this depiction of Earth based off of what Zetetic said. He's like, there's the Pacific Ocean's huge. Like, if you go to the Pacific Ocean real quick,
Yeah.
on your
Yeah, like how come no pictures from space show us that, dude?
So that's a sphere,
sure
right?
there are.
So
yeah.
What is it? What is it? 49.25 or whatever the fuck? You can't see like all of a sphere. It's like 51 or 49.
50.5 or something like that.
Well,
Yeah,
why don't you
something
put the
weird.
grid on and see if we're looking at 180 across, which I don't think we are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, okay.
Wow.
That doesn't make any sense.
But this side here might be like 15 degrees though.
Dude, that's a lot of open nothing.
You never see a depiction like that ever on any globe.
That's because they always show you the other side.
I'm seeing 50 north to 90 south. It's not quite 180, but it's a lot there.
Look at the topography of the shelf, dude. On the left where the island is, you can see all the buried land over there. What is that again?
Oh, this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, intense.
Isn't that the French islands?
That's Atlantis.
Tonga, Fiji.
Like that's a continent, dude.
That's everything up to Samoa, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I went here for my honeymoon, by the way.
New
Little,
Caledonia?
Island here.
Caledonia.
Where is it? Is that it?
All right. Well, that's how you know this
Adopted military.
presentation's over.
Which one is Epstein's?
Is that where you went?
I went here on my honeymoon.
You literally went to Epstein's Virgin Island. Look at that.
This is where I went.
Those cabanas looks tight.
Wow.
Good.
Where nobody can hear you fart.
Yeah.
Except for your wife, I guess. In that same cabana.
Yeah, there's so much. Wow, that's great.
All
Go
right.
to the Atlantic Ocean just for reference, real quick.
Well, that was a good 2-hour stream. Also, I think Witsit just started his stream, so
yeah.
Good time to cap it off.
So I guess
it's like
I can't come in and talk about the rotation of the Earth having nothing to do with the way that we fly planes.
Certainly doesn't seem to be incorporated in the flight plan.
Correct.
Yeah, it would have to be if we were actually on a spinning ball.
If your coordinate system was moving out from underneath you, no.
Or in other words, nuh-uh.
All right, that's 2 hours.
That's funny.
Much appreciated, man.
That was great.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, man.
I love doing this shit.
Yeah, I just like give an opportunity to come show. Any people have any last questions or anything? Or anyone want to call Ruha for retard one more time or anything?
Yes.
Oh, Mike Jones isn't here, so.
Yeah. Oh, wait, do we want to get Mike back into?
Thanks for begging the question with us, Ruhiv.
Thank you.
If you're only a retard,
I just want to.
If you're only a retard, if you think that it would be the exact same training for pilots to fly over a stationary Earth.
Okay, we will politely disagree.
And on that note, you know who's not a retard? People who buy Brushtail coffee from Toby's website, brushtail.coffee.
That's an interesting observation there, Alan. I will say that does seem to comport with my observations just with customers. It seems to be that if you're really, really, really smart, and also it seems there's an overlapping if you take the Venn diagram of really, really smart people and really, really cool people. The intersection there, pretty much all of them go to brushtail.coffee and they click on join the rookery and they become a subscriber of Brushtail Coffee to get fresh coffee roasted, not with an expiration date, not, shipped whenever we get around to it. But no, once it's roasted, it will be packaged within, hours of roasting and then, in almost every case, and then shipped to you. So if you want fresh coffee that actually is curated by someone that loves coffee and buys coffee that they love, then head on over to Brushtail Coffee. And, or if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot us an email.
How many elements of baby penguins are in Brushtail, though? Is it?
And that's the other thing.
Fantastic question.
Yeah, that's such a good question. And this is something that's really important to us over at Brushtail Coffee in that, as it turns out, there is no guarantee from any. I've been looking through every single coffee provider, and there is no guarantee from any of them that there's no baby penguins. Specifically, you've got these New Zealand blue fairy penguins. They're the smallest species of penguins, very cute little smart guys, right? Who doesn't love a baby blue fairy penguin? And I've yet to see any of these other coffee providers properly have a stamp of a seal on their coffee to properly denote that there are not baby blue fairy penguins in their coffee. So if you want to have that guarantee, you can go to brushtail.coffee. I'm not saying the other coffee providers do that, but if you don't know, if they're not certifying it, then
I'm just lightly implying it. I'm not saying anything.
Then your guess is as good as mine. And if that's good enough for you, if you can put your head on your pillow and sleep at night with the potential taste of baby penguins coursing through your veins, then that's on you, man. That's a personal life choice. We're not here to judge.
Well, we should be careful here. We're gonna find some people that are like, oh, that must be like the secret ingredient. No, don't get it confused.
Baby penguin beak.
Don't get it confused. Yeah, it's just the caffeine that's doing it, and that you can get that in Brushtail Coffee in a cleaner form. So there you go.
All right.
Thanks everyone for listening. And Ruif, seriously, thank you. It was we appreciate the decorum, and hopefully we can have some more back and forth on these topics. Thank you again, everyone, for listening in. And don't forget to check us out next Tuesday for Alan's actually next Tuesday we're gonna have now probably gonna have Cassander Bennett back for part 2 of the Hildegard model. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So check us out next Tuesday for that. And then following that, Alan will be giving another presentation here on special relativity. Should be a very nice recap of things. It's like we give presentations on the same things sometimes numerous times, but it's because we just keep learning more and more and more. And so I'm really excited to see what Alan's going to bring in a week from Tuesday. So thanks again, everybody, and take care. Much love.